today we are going to start with Power BI data visualization. Okay, it's nothing but it's reports and development. It's most interesting thing of Power BI and most important thing also. Why? Let's say for example, as a developer or as a consultant, I did some data extraction, I did some data modeling, I have written some DAX expressions, some complex DAX calculations, right? So I have invested my lot of time into the data cleaning, data transformation, and writing the DAX expression thing, right? But when it comes to the user, because user is not going to view my DAX, user is not going to see my data transformation or how much effort I put to make that data for presentation purpose, right? So user is never going to know that what kind of thing I have done. The important thing is user will always interact with the presentation. It means with your visualization. So that's why it's very important. Even if you haven't followed best practice in writing the measure, you haven't followed the best practice in creating your data model, right? Maybe that thing you can do later as enhancement, right? Initially, let's say you extracted like 100 columns, but you were not sure like which columns would be required in report or which were not. So what you did initially, generally what we do actually, we extract all the data, right? It's just an example. And then let's say once I do my report and everything is done, it's got deployed on the production, then I realized that, okay, now my report is as per the user expectation. Now let's take an enhancement request, and now we can work on the data cleaning, or like data cleaning means like removing the necessary columns and something like this. Now we can work on the best practices thing. Okay, but if your visualization is not up to the mark, if your visualizations, if your report is not much appealing, it's not much attractive, then user will not show any interest in your report. Okay, so whatever the effort you have given in your data modeling, in your data transformation, that is completely useless, right? So that is something like you build a house, right? After that, nobody knows that how much effort you have given to build that, how much different things you explored to build that, right? You tried different like raw material, you tried different people, labor, right? You interacted with a lot of people, you did a lot of things, but nobody interacts. Everybody will see the interior design, right? So this is the same thing. It's like the presentation layer of your all of your effort, right? So that's why, because business user will always interact with your report, with the visuals. If your report is attractive, then yes, they will show interest. They will put some like some more requests. They will try to enhance that. Okay, so gradually your report will become a complete portfolio dashboard or a product, right? So this is a way like how companies grow, or how your reports will grow inside your organization, right? Because this is very rare. Like in the first attempt, you build the 100% neat and clean and bug-free dashboard, right? Yes, it happens. Like in generally, it happens like there are some data mismatch issues somewhere, like fonts are not correct. Okay, but it should be up to that mark. At least when you ask your user to test it or to view it, at least they show some interest in that. Okay, so for that, data visualization is important. So how can we create the Power BI reports? Although it's simple thing, but it becomes a challenge when you want to create some attractive reports. It's not something like you just want to visualize the tabular data. Okay, most of the time I saw like most of the people are just doing the data dump, right? So that's not actually the report. That's not the dashboard actually. Okay, your dashboards must have some KPIs, some different attractive visuals, or some your visuals should be up to that mark. Like instead of putting a lot of time, a lot of efforts to understand or to read that data, people just quickly see some charts and graphs and they can quickly got the value and they can take the decision, right? So that's the objective of the report. But sometimes like, people just extract the data from Excel, from their databases, put them onto the report, just a tabular data, and that's a report. Although it's a report, but actually that thing you can achieve through the any other like simple tool, like in Excel also. That Excel can also fulfill that requirement. Okay, but Power BI has more than that to do. Okay, all right. So how do we start with the reports design or visualization thing? So here we may have like different scenarios. For example, sometimes our user or our SME, they gives us a mock-up design of the report, right? What kind of report they are expecting, what kind of visuals they are expecting. Okay, this is one scenario. In the second scenario, like maybe they have any already users are using any report, but that report is not as much useful for them. So they want to enhance that report in Power BI, or maybe they want to migrate that report. Let's say if users are having any dashboard or any report in Excel, right? In Excel, they have some graphs, some visuals, right? But they want to make it more attractive and they want to use more advanced things into that. So they have a basic idea in mind. Okay, so we have, this is our base, the base visuals. On top of that, we need to make some more hands-on. Okay, this is the second one. This was the second thing. The third thing is, like, sometimes you just have a data set. Okay, now it's your job how you blend that data and how you extract more information into the visualization form, right? So it means this time you won't have any design, any visuals, any mock-up, nothing. It's your responsibility now how you make that, how you present your data so that the users can understand the information from that data. Okay, so this is something like the data scientist do actually. They just got the data, they got the business problems, that's it. Now it's their responsibility, it's their part of job, like they have to understand how they can help the users or how they can help the business to understand the business, to find out the solution, to take the decisions from that data. Okay, all right, so there might be like another scenarios also, market, but most commonly these three things we have, like either we will be having the exact mockup design, what we need to do, what we need to design. Second, we have something similar, like we need to design, but on top of that, it would be good that if we give more information or more visualization. And the third thing is, like, we don't have anything, everything we have to think, we have to present. Okay, then it would be then back and forth between you and users. They will ask that, no, I don't want this chart, I want that, I don't want to see this value on Axis, I don't want to see that. Okay, then it will be again a part of enhancement thing. Okay, so when you are going to work from your side, okay, you don't have anything, then first of all, or even if you have any design also, then first of all you have to think about the pages layout and the formatting. When I say page layout, it's nothing but it's a Power BI desktop report page. Let me show you here in Power BI desktop, right? So now we all are having good knowledge and we have like already interacted many times with the Power BI desktop. So now you see that this is the report tab. In this report tab, you have this white blank space, right? So this is called, in Power BI language, it's called report canvas, right? So let me just quickly walk you through about the important features, right? All right, so let me just check the size of this pen. All right, perfect. Okay, so here you can see this is your Power BI desktop. And in this Power BI desktop, if you see that this path, this space, which you see here, this is your report canvas, right? So this report canvas basically you use for the report design. It means this is the only this space you have in which you can do your visualization, right? Apart from that, you have this report canvas you will see when you are in this report tab, right? So there are three tabs: report tab, data tab, and model tab, right? So if you are in the report tab, then only you will see this report canvas. Next, we have these tabs here. If you see, in these tabs, we have different functionalities, different buttons. Okay, but most of the things like which you will be using for the visualization purpose, all those things will be inside this insert tab. Okay, here you can see few things, right? These things you can also find out into the insert tab. Okay, mostly like when we work with the visualization, we should keep an eye on the insert tab also, like what kind of features we have there. All right, then apart from this, if you go here into the visualization section, in visualization section you have these visuals, right? These are the visuals, or in short, like basically these are just graphs and charts and all these things you have. Okay, these are the built-in visuals in Power BI. Okay, what are the built-in, what are the custom, that we'll discuss in the next coming slides. Okay, apart from that, here you have some settings, right? So these are the basic all the things which you will be using for the visualization purpose, right? Here you will add your fields. Let's say you have some fields here, so you will have to add those fields here like this. Okay, and this is your filters pane. In this filter pane, you will add all those required, all those columns which you required onto the filter. Okay, there are different type of filters, right? This is the filter pane. Okay, you may have the filters on report also. It means on canvas you can also have the filters. Okay, all right. So when I'm talking about the formatting of the page and layout of the pages, so it means this is your report here, and here you can create multiple pages. Right now this is page 1. If you want, you can change it. right? So let's say this is my sales report summary. So I created this page. It's same as like your Excel sheets. You can create another page also. Sales report details, right? You can create a duplicate pages also. You can hide any page and you can delete any page also. Okay. Now, when you want to, before creating any report, before starting your reports development, first you have to fix your page format, right? So this is my page, because this is something like it would be difficult for you to change the page settings once you design your report, right? So it would be a lot of rework for you if you want to change it later. Okay, so best thing is like initially before creating anything, first decide that what would be the page format, what would be the page size, is any page background color required, is any background images required, right? All these things you have to decide first. So this is my page level properties. You have to check by just going here. Here you can see format tab, right? So this brush icon you can see here. Under this format tab, you see all the properties which are related to the page. So here you can see most of the things like the page name, what is the tooltip, what is Q&A, page size, which page size you want to use. Generally this is the standard page size 16:9, but if you want you can use different page size also, right? If I select 4:3, then you see for letter page, for tooltip page, right? So there are different page size. Generally we use to this one because this gives you the wider scope of your report. Here you can add any page background also, right? Something like this, and here you can manage the transparency. All right, here you have on each property, see this is just a page background, right? So this is page background property. Okay, in this page, this is page background section. In this section you have multiple properties like color, transparency, add image, right? So under any section, under each section basically you have a reset button. This is your revert to default. Let's say I just change the color. If I add image something here and I want to undo that. Okay, I want to reset everything. So I can just click on this revert to default. So what will happen for this particular section? All the changes will be reset. Okay. Similarly, we have some other things like page alignment. There are a lot of properties. Okay. So in terms of property usage, Power BI is having a lot of properties. Okay. And Microsoft is continuously adding new and new properties, new and new functionalities in visualization, right? But most of the things are like common. Okay. Let's say for one visual, if I just show you, select one visual. Once you select any visual from this list, that will be automatically added onto the report canvas. Okay, once it's added on the report page, then you just go to the format and here you can check all the properties which are for this particular visual. Okay, so these properties, basically most of the properties are common for each visual, right? So if we just understand for one visual property, then it means we will cover more for all these visuals properties. Okay, all right, so this is page layout and formatting. Okay, so each report can be customized, means in each page can be customized. On each page you can have different settings. So let's say if one page, first page is having your green background and second page you can use the blue background also, right? So properties are independent for each page. Okay, and you can use these formatting options to enable you to design layouts suitable to your corporate look. This is an important thing. Most of the organizations use their corporate themes, their color combinations, images, okay, the font size, font name. Okay, so most of the organizations are having their corporate theme. Okay, so you can use that theme also in Power BI, or let's say if your organization is having a different color which you don't see in the Power BI, right? Then you have the color palette which you can use to pick any color of your choice, right? So let's say here you can see the color palette, right? So from this color palette, you can see, let's say if there is any color which is not there as per your organization standards, right? So what you have here, you can create the custom color, right? Just click on it and here you have the complete section, complete place, like where you can choose any color based on that. Okay, or what you can do, if you can get the color hexacode. Okay, color hexacode value, and then you can just put that hexacode value here. Okay, and you will get your color. Okay, so in this way basically you use your corporate look and you can make the customization also in that. You can define the pages, as much as pages you want you can create that, but generally as per the practice, as per the best practice, you should not have more than 15 pages in a report, right? 15 pages are enough. Okay, you set the page size, page background, page view, right? So these are the basic things which you need to discuss initially. Multiple visualizations. We use settings like the formatting setting I explained to you here. Each visual is having this format pane, right? So this format pane, and these formatting settings here, for most of the visuals, these are the common. Okay, there are some properties, some settings which are specific to a visual, right? But most of the things are like, most of the properties are like common. In Power BI, you have the flexibility to use the added interaction functionality. Let's say you have some visuals on one report. You have 4 visuals on the report, right? When I say 4 visuals means, let's say you divided your report page like this, right? So here you have one visual, second visual, third visual, and the fourth visual. Got it? Now, here, what you do basically, if you select anything on this fourth visual, right? If you select anything here, then data will be filtered in the first visual. Okay. If you select anything on the fourth visual, then data will select basically in all the visuals by default. This is the default functionality. Okay. Data will be filtered in all the visuals. But if you want something like, if I'm selecting anything on this fourth visual, it means if I select on anything on this pie chart, then data should not be filtered on let's say on this bar chart. Okay. So what you can do, you can manage it through the added interaction functionality. Okay. So that is a very required one. Most of the people use this because sometimes they don't want to filter any specific, they don't want to highlight any specific visual. So they have the full flexibility, right? They can manage it as per their requirement. It's like fully customizable. How you want to allow your visuals to change, to filter, you can manage that. All right. Generally, when you add anything on the Power BI shows the data where you have the values, right? Let's say you have 6 customers, right? In your customer dimension table, in your customer master table, you have 6 customers. But in your transactional table, you have the data for only 5 customers, right? Only for 5 customers. Then when you will visualize the data, like let's say sales by customer, then you will see 5 bars only. Why? Because you have the data for only for 5 customer. You won't see the 6th customer for which you don't have any sale, any transaction. You won't see that particular customer, that particular data point onto your bar chart or on your visuals. Why? Because by default, Power BI shows data for only for those categories which are having the data. It means categories with no data will not be displayed on the report. By default, Power BI only displays column headings and reports for those categories containing the data. Okay. So this means like if you have 6 customers, but you have the data for 5, then only 5 customer will be displayed. In case if you want to display the 6th customer also, because sometimes let's say we have the actual values, sales actual sales, for example, let's say for Jan, Feb, March, April, May, till May, right? But still you want to see the other months onto the table or maybe on any other visual. Okay, so in that situation, you would require to display the rest of the months, although the value should be 0, no problem, but the months should be displayed on the report, right? So then you can change this categories with no data property. Okay, next we have this default summarization. So what does it mean? Power BI by default do the summarization of the data. What is this summarization? In Power BI, we can use different type of aggregation, right? So some is also aggregation, right? So when you visualize anything, then what will happen? It will automatically show data on visuals by summarizing it. It means by doing summation of the data. Okay, so it means the summarization, the aggregation level will be automatically applied, and that would be sum. Okay, in case if you want to change that, then you can change manually, or if in case if you don't want to use the summarization, then you can choose no summarize. Okay, so these are the things like which we need to understand first, like what kind of different things we have. Then in Power BI Desktop, I will show you where these are. Okay, when it comes to the charts in Power BI, I have already shown you here. You can see around 35 visuals we have, right? So these mainly includes the bar charts, line charts, pie charts, table, matrix, filter, card. Okay, these are the most commonly used visuals. Recently, Microsoft added some more advanced visuals, which you can see here, like key influencer, decomposition tree, Q&A. That's not visual, actually, that's a different thing. ArcGIS map is older one, Power Apps. Okay, so these are the three things basically: key influencer, decomposition tree, and Power Apps. Power App is not actually a visual, it's a different thing, right? So actually, just for your knowledge only, Microsoft is having one category. Let's say when we say like ERP, right? So inside the ERP category, we have like SAP, we have Workday, we have Tally, we have Microsoft AX, multiple, right? So what Microsoft did, Microsoft just created a category that is Power Platform, right? So under this Power Platform, Microsoft is having multiple tools, right? The one is Power BI, right? Power BI is a part of this platform, which is Power Platform. The second is Power Apps. Maybe if you have heard about it, Power Apps. And the another is Power Automate. Power Automate is something like any RPA tool, right? Robotic Process Automation. So Microsoft's RPA tool name is Power Automate. Earlier, this tool name was Microsoft Flow. Now name has been changed to Power Automate. And the second and the fourth thing we have into this Power Virtual Agents, right? So what is this Power Virtual Agent? It allows the users to build their chatbots. What? Chatbots, or we can say smart bots. Okay. So these four different tools basically are a part of this Power Platform, right? So what is this here, which you see, right? This is Power Apps. It means it's kind of an integration of Power BI and Power Apps. It means Power Apps basically used to build custom applications. Means custom apps means, let's say you want to create, you just want to create a quick application for the survey. Okay, like we use SurveyMonkey, right? So what you can do, you can just create 5 text boxes. You can write some questions there, okay, like based on the customer feedback, and then you can create a quick form. That quick form you can add inside the Power BI. Okay, it means from the Power BI we can capture the user input through the Power Apps. Okay, so it means what it means actually, it's integration of Power Apps inside the Power BI. Okay, so I hope you got a basic idea at least what it is, right? So this is the Power Apps. It's actually another tool that got integration inside the Power BI. Okay, so basically I will show you the R and Python integration also with Power BI, right? So maybe all of you have heard about the Python. Okay, because Python is gaining a lot of popularity right now in the market, right? Just because of the data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, right? So I will show you that how you can integrate the Python, how you can leverage Python or R inside the Power BI. Okay, this is something like which makes the Power BI #1 into the BI platform tools. All right, so we have different charts, visuals inside the Power BI, right? So we can use them. Let's say bar and column charts, line and area charts, line column charts, scatter and bubble charts, right? So I'm not going to explain one by one, right? Because when I'll show you practically, then it will be automatically, I will explain that at that time. Okay, so pie and donut chart we have, table and matrix charts, tree maps, right? Most of the visuals you see, like these are the common as per the same as the Excel, right? R visuals we have, Python we have, and there are some other charts also. Like other charts means like waterfall charts, right? Generally, if you want to show the trend between in your profit up and down, then you can use the waterfall chart, right? Where you can use like some other charts also, like gauge visual, card chart, multi-row card, KPIs, and slicers, right? But the thing is, like in which kind of visualization it kind of which kind of visual information when you want to display, then which visual you have to choose here. Okay, so the right selection of the visual is also very important. Okay, let's say if you want to display the customer wise sales and you are displaying it onto the pie chart, okay, so that's the wrong thing. Okay, you can't do like this, and even if you do, then that will not be nobody is going to understand your pie chart, because your customers, let's say you have 1,000 customers, 2,000 customers, and you display this on a pie chart, then it would be very complicated to understand that. Okay, so there are like some common things. Okay, so we have to take care about the purpose of the chart and like what kind of data we are going to visualize through it. Okay, so let's say if you want to do a comparison, okay, let me just that and show you. So you can see this is DAX quick reference guide, and this is DAX formula reference. It means this one which is having around like 7.16 MB. This is the complete DAX, and this is a quick reference, means most commonly used functions. So this is Power BI visuals reference, right? So if I open it, although you can get it from internet from anywhere, right? So this was created by SQL BI. So here you can see, for example, if you want to display the data for, let's say, for comparison.
This is how we can work with the halving clause in SQL. And this brings us to the end of this session. Thanks for attending, and let's meet in the next class.